Hi YouTube, today I'm going to tear down this 12-foot of gate and fence front panel, and I'm going to rebuild it completely with the same construction, 2x4 rails, 2x6 pickets. So if you stick around, you'll see the step-by-step to make this happen on your property. Step one, I'm going to remove all the hinges and all the hardware from the gate. We'll reuse that on the next one to save the customer 40 bucks. Okay, next I'm going to cut that in half, and I'm going to tear down the rest of it by unbolting it from the brackets. These are typically 7/16 bolts, but it looks like we have 1/4 inch bolts this time. So we're just going to take those off sequentially. Make sure not to drop them in the yard. I like to leave one on at the top and then take all the rest off. So once I'm ready, I can drop just that last one, carry the panel off. Alright, as we can see, I had to cut that piece to remove it. So my new rail is going to sit on top of that, which will require the raising of that bracket as well as those two to keep as close to plumb as we can. So I'll show you the process of raising the brackets and putting on the rail. So what I've done is I took a full 12-footer and I set it on that existing rail. It extends into the neighbor's yard, maybe 3 pickets, but I'm going to screw those 3 pickets to it so both gates get a little more strength. Then I fixed it to that bracket with 1 screw. And while it's probably not plumb, neither is the ground. So whatever it is as far as level goes, I'm going to measure down and evenly space the next 2 off of that. Alright, rails are up. Next few steps are going to be tedious. Each bracket's got 1 screw into the rail, so I'm going to just go screw off all the brackets to the rails. I'm going to take all the old panels, cut them up and put them in the truck, and then when I come back, we'll do the pickets. So I went to one end and hung that picket, making sure it's plumb. Slightly bigger gap at the bottom, but we're going to lay a picket over that. I then went to this side, put in a picket, making sure it's plumb, and I ran a string between. Then I slid a picket down the fence, making sure that while the top of the picket is at the string, we don't have too much of a gap at the bottom and we're not digging in at the bottom. So now I'm going to start going through and hanging the pickets one at a time, top screw each. Every 5th one I'll go back and level them. And then we'll get this done and cut the gate in. Alright, so I've got all the pickets on, 2 screws each. Now I'm going to take my Sawzall and I'm going to cut the top and bottom rails through the pickets on the hinge side and the top and the bottom in the middle on the latch side. Alright, now I'm going to fix the hinges top and bottom on the hinge side. But I'm going to use a screw to put pilot holes through so that I don't split the 2x4 in the back and cost myself a ton of extra work. Alright, we've got both hinges on, so now I'm going to make the final cuts. The middle on the hinge side and the top on the latch side. And we're going to get an early look at how it's swinging and see what we need to adjust. Okay, so we've got the gate free, but the top rail isn't cut flush with the picket. And it's rubbing. That appears to be all that's rubbing, so I'm going to cut that down with the skill saw. Okay, so we've got it to where it closes all the way. Now, I'm I'm gonna install a board here vertically and here vertically, and those will support the latch. Okay, so we've got our blocks. One will go here. Nice train engine. One will go here. The other here. I'm gonna offset this one in about a 1/2 inch and notch the picket to clear the latch so it's flush. So I'm gonna go on the other side and put 3 screws through the picket into the latch and the latch thumb block. Okay, so we've got those blocks in. Now, I'm gonna hold the latch right here and make 2 marks, and then notch it with the Sawzall and knock out the picket so that the latch sits recessed in and doesn't interfere with the gate. Alright, so latch, make a mark, be a little generous, maybe a 1/4 inch further up and further down. And I'm gonna put probably 5 notches, not just 2. Alright, I'm gonna knock out all the extra picket stock. And if this isn't the prettiest knockout, the latch will cover it, so not a huge deal. Just like the hinges, I'm gonna find out where I need it to go and put pilot holes with the screw before I put the wood legs in, so I don't split my hardware support board. I'm gonna switch over to a 1/2 inch and put it on there with its permanent wood legs. Alright, pilot holes have been installed. Put the wood legs in permanently. Okay, with the latch on, I just need to put the latch thumb in, which will affix to our 2x4 behind here. I'm gonna drill pilot holes with the screw, just like always, so I don't split the board. This is gonna overlap with one of the latch thumb holes, and I'll just put screws top and bottom. That would make a better YouTube short than anything. That's not even fucking close. Alright, I'm gonna put the back one in first. Then I'm going to put the handle over the second one. And then, like I said, I'll just use screws for the top and bottom of the handle. One screw pulling it up, one pulling it down. Okay, so the spot where the latch turns from round to flat is too far over into the latch where it needs to be round. So I'm going to pry it open, and I'm going to smooth that out a little with my grinder. Perfectly smooth. There you have it. Torn down, replaced with new rails and pickets, all screws, no nails. Got the gate in, reinstalled the latch, adjusted it, tested it, done. Check out my other content, and I'll see you on the next video.